The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, hello everyone. This is Brian Sachs. I hope you'll excuse my voice. I've been fighting a really bad cold for about 2 weeks. Excuse me. But I do appreciate you being here. I think you're going to appreciate your being here because what I'm going to share with you really has the ability to absolutely change your business. And I know that that's a very tall promise. So stick with me. Um, you know, what I'm going to share with you is a method that I created through many years of trial and error that really does produce a consistent flow of new buyers. But more importantly, these buyers are already sold on using you before you even meet them. And you can now take these buyers and give them to realtors. Nothing pisses me off more than having a realtor tell me I'm going to be one of three cards they give out, or having to take them to lunch or dinner or coffee. They don't want to be there any more than you want to be there. And I'm sure all of you feel that agents aren't loyal. But the reality is there is a way to make them loyal, and I'm actually going to share with you uh, a formula. And I hate to use the word script, but I am going to use the word script because I'm going to share with you a structure of what to say, which realtors to go after, which ones to avoid like the plague. Before we even jump in, let's just make sure everybody can see the screen and everybody can hear my unfortunately scratchy voice. So if you would be kind enough just to type yes or no in the box. Okay, so I'm getting lots of yeses. Again, I apologize for this voice. I feel like I could be a hitman for the Sopranos here. But let's jump right in. So this formula is TM plus OPEC plus ASM plus SRFU equals CFNB plus RRM money. If you haven't done so already, go to rentersintalowns.com/handout, and you're going to want to take notes. So just so you know you're in the right place. You're in the right place if you know that refis are going to stop and you need purchase business. You're just not sure how to do that. And you really can't bring yourself to go kissing butt, and you don't find many realtors loyal anyway. Is that what most of you are finding? Realtors aren't loyal? I'm going to assure you that they can be, okay? And they will be. You're in the right place if you want a consistent way to produce new loans, but you can't find anything that seems to work as promised. And you dream of having agents chase you, but you think it's a dream. It can't really happen. Well, it does happen once you know what agents really want. And by the way, agents don't want good service, they expect it. Agents don't want good rates, they expect that. So, here's a survey I ran a little while ago, but it's the same. Every quarter I run it. What are the challenges? Getting someone to answer the phone, follow up, getting in the door with high volume agents. It goes on and on. We all share these same problems, right? But maybe you're just tired of begging. I mean, to be fair, I begged for the first 15 years of my 35 years in this business. And I was an awesome donut and rate sheet hander-outer. So, begging can work. It's just painful. No more lunches with agents you hate that don't want to be there any more than you. No more paying marketing fees, which I call extortion. No more wondering. That horrible feeling in the pit of your stomach where you're just wondering where your next deal is going to come from, or going to actual offices. Agents aren't there anyway, and, just getting turned away. And so it's going to be the difference between hoping and actually having a plan. Do any of you have a plan? Type yes or no. One thing I know about you, your plan ain't working too well because you're here, right? So let's get you something that does work. And I'm going to give you a promise that I guarantee you've never heard before. Okay? I want you to stay on this training. I want you to shut off your Facebook, shut off your phone, shut off your distractions. And if you stay on this training till the end, and I know who stays and who doesn't, by the way, if you don't get one big idea, one aha that helps you, I want you to send me an email at loanofficertips@gmail.com. Again, loanofficertips@gmail.com. And I will personally send a check for $25 in your name to the charity of your choice. So let me know if this is fair or not fair. Have you ever heard of anybody guaranteeing a free training? So just type fair or not fair or leave. So if you don't think it's fair, jump off right now. If you think it's fair, type in the box fair, and then we'll begin. I'm going to take a sip while you're doing that. Well, I don't see anybody. Oh, here we go. Here's some fairs. Steve says fair. Carlton says fair. Mindy says fair. Who else? How about Steve, Chris, Mark, Gerard, Stu? Okay, Stu says fair. All right, good. So we have an agreement. We have a deal. Let's go. So this is the best image I could think of for our industry. It's a caveman, you know. You wake up every day and we go hunting. It doesn't matter what's in our pipeline. It doesn't matter what we did yesterday. It doesn't matter what we closed. Every day we're starting over, right? So what would it be like if you could wake up and you didn't have to feel like you're starting over and you had a predictable system that actually was going to send you business? So stay with me because I got something very special for you at the end. And I want to make sure that all of you are able to take notes. So you want to go to rentersintoloans.com/handout. So write down the formula. TM plus OPEC plus ASM plus SRFU equals CFNB plus RR dollars. That's what we're going to go over. Okay, we're going to break it down. I'm going to show you how to have a steady stream of new buyers each and every month. Again, they'll be sold on using you before they even speak to you. And I'm going to show you how to put something called sales robots to work because let's be honest, we all suck at follow-up, but follow-up is really what separates us and what will make us successful. So I'm going to share with you how to put that on autopilot. I'm also going to share with you that not all realtors are the same. I'm going to share with you which ones to go after, might surprise you, which ones to avoid like the plague, and I'm going to give you a script that guarantees an appointment and makes them loyal. Okay, so again, turn off all your distractions. Let's jump into this. Lesson one is, bear with me. Lesson one, your first really big lesson is you need to be very careful who you're listening to. And I want you to judge me by this as well. Has the person accomplished what you want them to? Are they earning what you want to earn? Why would you listen to someone making 50,000 if you want to make 100? It just doesn't make sense. Do they do it or do they teach it? And do they guarantee it? I mean, heck, I just guaranteed a free training for you. So the ultimate shortcut I found is to find a mentor who has done it and just simply copy it. So many of you may have seen my articles. I write for all the publications. I have a show on the Mortgage News Network. I write for the Mortgage Leader. I'm on ABC, CBS. So, again, here's my story, and I'm going to make it very brief. I grew up I thought we were middle class, but we were actually probably on the lower end of that spectrum, just trying to stay middle class. I went to work at age 14, barely graduated high school, not much college, just a few courses, became a realtor at age 20, got into the mortgage business at age 21, and I'm 54 now. What changed my life was finding a mentor named Dan Kennedy, who I learned direct response marketing from. I don't know if any of you remember my previous business, Loan Officer Success. Were any of you members of Loan Officer Success back in the 2000 and 2009 range? I learned everything I'm going to share with you by actually doing it. I still originate folks every day, just like you. And, over 30 years in the mortgage business, 15 years as a frustrated loan officer. And then, yeah, Steve, I did meet you back in 2005. Absolutely. I realized it couldn't be about price because you'll never have the best price. I realized it has to be about something more than that. And I went on to build 3 or 4 businesses that all rose to over $1 million. And then I woke up one day and the information business I sold was bankrupt. A partnership I was in wound up in court. And I had to reinvent very quickly and very efficiently with no money, no technical knowledge, and really no new agents. So some of you probably can relate to that, right? So what do you do if you have no money and you have no time to waste? And this is really how I would describe our industry. We are viewed, rightfully or wrongfully, we are viewed as a head of lettuce. We are disposable like a Schick razor. And so if this head of lettuce is 50 cents and this one's 40 cents, it's the same damn head of lettuce. Why would you spend more on a head of lettuce? And so you've got to separate yourself. And I think you all know, right, that it can't be about good rates. It can't be about good service. That's expected. But here are 2 really, really big ahas. You have to control the buyer because whoever controls the buyer controls the income. Think about that, okay? When you control the buyer and you control who the title company can be, who the realtor can be, who the mortgage company is going to be, which is obviously you because you control the buyer. And once you have buyers pre-approved, you then become the referral source. Does that make sense? Give me a yes or no. I mean, I know it's so silly and so stupid, but it's so stupid simple, right? But we forget about it. So we're working on scripts people are selling us who don't even originate on how to go after realtors. So we all sound like a robot. I mean, if you control the buyer, you control your income. Really that simple. It's a big duh, right? So your income and production isn't what you want it to be because you don't control it. Because here is, excuse my language, the bullshit that is being taught to us. Go sponsor an open house and do spreadsheets. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but that's not going to magically change anything. Paying for advertising on Zillow and Trulia, I call that extortion. Providing single address websites. I bet you're providing them and you're still not getting business. Doing broker courses. It works. I advocate it. Visiting open houses. Doing pay-per-click and social media ads. Paying MSA and rental desk fees. I mean, there's so much crap being pushed on us. See, here's the truth. Realtors want one thing and they want one thing only. It's the same thing we want. They want to sell more homes. So you having good rates and you providing good service, that's expected. That's not a unique selling proposition. You, my friends, must control the buyer. It's not your fault because everything you're being taught, again, is what we just went over. If you want to be, this is Jim Rohn, and some of you may know of him. He's a very, very famous, he passed away, but he was a very famous marketing and motivational expert. And he said, if you want to be successful, just look around at what everybody else is doing and do the complete opposite. And that's the big aha. Everybody is teaching you elegant ways to chase business, but you need to be able to get agents chasing you, and they will start chasing you if you control the buyer. So let's start breaking down the formula. Before we do, I just want to share something with you. Everyone, and tell me if this is true or not, everyone's teaching you ways to go online and use social media. Is that fair? Tell me if that's a yes or no. So they're teaching you how to go online and use social media, but let's look at something. The two biggest, gigantic online companies in the world, Google and Facebook, are sending direct mail. Interesting, huh? So don't take my word for it. Here's one of our members, Steve Ramos in Georgia. He has tripled his production with this system. So you're probably saying, oh, direct mail doesn't work. It sucks. I'm not going to do direct mail. Well, direct mail fails for really three reasons. It's sent to the wrong people. It's sent only once, and it has the wrong call to action. So I'm going to break it down for you. Sending it to the wrong people. You can't just send direct mail. I'm going to encourage you to send direct mail to people who are currently renting, who are easily accessible, and who are paying rent comparable to what a mortgage payment would be in your city. Now, who here is married or has ever been married? Just type in the box yes. So Stu's married. How about you, Steve? Gerard's married. Mark's married. I've been married 30 years. Carlton's married. Jeremy's married. Gerard's married 32 years. Good. Okay. So a lot of you are married. So how many of you, Chris is married? Good, Chris. How many of you got married on the first date? My bet is none of you. Okay. And that's a big mistake. So you can't mail one time and, think that you're going to be a success or a failure. If you're a success, it's an accident. You've got to be mailing to the same people over and over and over again. Again, I'm going to say it. Mailing to the same people over and over and over again. So we've talked about mailing to the wrong people, and we've talked about mailing once. You got to be committed to mailing multiple times. The third part of why your direct mail doesn't work is because you're asking them to call you, but they don't trust us. They think we're scumbags. There's a movie made about how disgusting we are, right? All you need is to just ask people about loan officers and realtors. They don't trust us at all. So don't ask them to call you. Big mistake. So you're sending it to the wrong people. You're sending it only once, and it has the wrong call to action, which is call us. By the way, I don't want them to call me. I want to be able to be spending quality time at night and on weekends and have them call me only sold on using me. I don't want them to call me and have me convince them. Does that make sense? So let's break it down. TM stands for targeted marketing. So you want to send it to people that fit your average loan amount. I like to mail to apartment complexes. That way, so in my area, if my average loan is $250, I'm mailing to complexes that are renting for $1,300 to $1,500 a month. I'm mailing to complexes that are within 5 to 10 miles of my office, and I'm mailing to, when I say a complex, I'm talking about building after building after building where we can write down that address and mail to dear future homeowner, because we know how much it's evergreen. We can put that database to work and mail to them every month or every other month. So I'm going to be sending them postcards, and I'm going to be doing it every month or every other month. Again, I could be mailing in January, but their lease might not be up till July, right? So you don't need to know who lives there. I have a resource I use that costs me $2. And here are samples of the postcards. Um, and you just mail to them over and over and over again to the same people. It takes 3 or 4 times for them to even know who you are. And then, what matters with these postcards is the offer, the options, the color. This is what I call my $1,000,000 postcard. It's been mailed literally 1,000,000 times, and it's generated over $1,000,000 in income. I'm not making any income claims here. Okay. So we know what TM is. What does OPEC mean? OPEC means they're not calling, they're opting in for a free report. So I have them coming to a page. Folks, this is an extremely ugly page. It's ugly for a reason. There is no distraction on here. There's nothing about me. There's no other buttons for them to click. They're going to opt in for a free report called Renter Secrets. There's a video of me on TV, but that's neither here nor there. They put in their name, their email address. They can share it on social media, and then the system will capture and deliver the free report. Now, the problem is they will do one of two things. They will either call after they've read the report and convince themselves, or they won't. And if they don't, the system will follow up with them. That's the ASM part, automated sales messages. We have pre-programmed automated sales messages that will follow up with them for an entire year. And that way, you don't have to talk to them. You don't have to be on a Saturday night or a Sunday out and getting a phone call, or in an evening getting a phone call convincing anyone. They're already sold, because the whole report, and I'm going to share it with you in a minute, will break it all down. So this is how we get them sold on using us. They get a free report. To construct your report, it's really very simple. You have to first grab their attention. You have to give them a benefit statement, tell them a little bit about you, immediately address their concerns and objections. You want to then tell them what to do next, which is to schedule a free, no obligation consultation with you. And you want to outline how the whole process works. You want to educate them. You want to scare them with things they may encounter with your competitors. Make sure they see you as the obvious expert and solution, and remove any risk. So, it needs a title and a value. It says who you are. It shows them the 5 mistakes to avoid. It goes through this entire process, gives them the process, the chart. It has testimonials in it, and it tells them what to do right now, and it must have scarcity. You have to limit it, okay? So that's how you structure this free report. I'll leave this up here for a second so that you can start taking some notes. So these sales robots, this is the SRFU. So we've covered the TM, we've covered the OPEC, we've covered the ASM. Now we're talking about the SRFU. And that's really the problem that we all stink at. We all stink at follow-up. And so during the first 90 days, here's a listing of some of the follow-up emails. It's programmed once. If they set up a one-on-one with us, we're done. If they don't set up a one-on-one with us, well, then this system is going to give them a bunch of emails during the first 90 days. And then after that, it's going to follow up with them once a month, encouraging them to, schedule a one-on-one. Does this make sense to you? Can I get a yes or no? Have you seen anything like this before? Probably not. So there you go. So now let's talk about the CFNB. The CFNB is what we want. We want a consistent flow of new business, and we want to finally be able to take control and control our income and control our business. The RR and the dollars are realtor relationships. It's more business. It's more commissions for us. It's less stress. It's loyalty. And because we have the one and only thing that they want, we don't have to go begging and kissing butt or having lunches and coffees, right? So let's talk about these three. This is Joan, this is Shirley, and this is Sue. So, there's three types of agents, and I'm going to tell you, you got to avoid two of them. You don't want to work with her, Shirley. She's Shirley Coffee Clutch. So, she's really just doing this part-time to get out of the house because she's bored. She is just mean. She is a top producing agent, and she will throw you away like a chic razor. Here's the one I want to go after, and I think you should be going after. You should be going after the mid-level agent who is doing 5, 6, 8 deals a year, because they will be loyal to you if you can help them go to the next level. Stay away from Shirley, onesie, twosie. Stay away from her. She's probably a bitch, and you don't need to necessarily kiss her butt or beg. Go with her, because she'll appreciate you and you can grow together, and she will be loyal. So yeah, Stuart's laughing because, hey, I am who I am. So sorry, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth, but it's reality. So, a lot of people are giving you scripts to go after the top agent. Screw the top agent. You don't need the top agent. You need a good 40 Sues right here that are mid-level agents. I mean, think about it, okay? If you have 30 Sues, 30, right? And Sue does 3 or 4 deals a year, that's 100 to 120 deals without all the aggravation of chasing and everything else. She'll actually appreciate you. And it doesn't have to be a she, it could be a he too. So there you go. So how do you find it out? You can be asking title companies. You can go on sites like Frankly MLS, HomeLight. There's lots of ways to find out. You can even go on HomeSnap or Realtor.com. So I promised you I would give you a script. So here it is. Hi, Shirley. I have an issue, and I really hope this is actually after you've identified her, right? And I hope you can spare 5 minutes. They always will say yes, generally, and say, hey, Shirley, thanks for taking the time to meet with me. And as I mentioned, I know you're busy. I'm busy too. I just need 5 minutes. So here's the problem. I have a system that generates new pre-approved buyers for me each month, but I don't have a lot of strong partners in your part of town. I identified you as a partner, and I wondered if you'd be interested in working with any of these buyers. And then shut up, okay? Let them say yes. It's really important psychologically. Well, good, Shirley. I'm glad to hear that. So let me explain the ground rules to you. Number one, you will never, ever question my fees, and I will never question yours. Is that okay? And let them say yes. And if we have an issue with each other, we will discuss it only with each other. Is that okay? And again, let them say yes. Okay, so here's Bob Smith. He's approved for 250 FHA. I'm going to let him know you'll be calling, and I want your next deal. You hear that, folks? I want your next deal, okay? And if we find we work well together, we can continue. And if not, I hope we can remain friends. Is that okay? Let them say yes. So do you see how this is different? Because most of the time, folks, we assume. And when we assume, we obviously make an ass of you and me. So tell me, do you love this? I'm sure no one's ever given you anything like that. But you can't assume. You got to just put it out there. I hate to use the word script. Just use this as a structure because I don't want you to sound robotic. So we're moving along here. I've shared the formula with you. Have all of you gotten at least one good idea, or maybe no good ideas, or maybe more than one good ideas. It would make me happy if you would just type that in. Okay, so a lot of you got several great ideas. Good. Okay. So I lived up to my promise, I hope. So let's now, this is probably how you feel, right? You feel like you're drinking from a fire hose, and I appreciate you all bearing with my scratchy voice. So why did you attend? You attended, obviously, because you want to do more loans, right? You want a consistent way that's predictable, and all the crap you're finding out there from the people who don't even originate, the snake oil salespeople, I call them, it ain't working, right? You dream of having agents chase you, but you think it's just a dream. Well, now you know you can, because you got the one thing they want, which is pre-approved buyers. And you just can't bring yourself to chasing realtors anymore. So the big question is, how do you get this up and running quickly so you can start closing more loans, making more money, and finally having time to enjoy life? I got to tell you, I created that phrase in 2001, and I can't tell you how many snake oil salesmen I've seen knock off those exact words. So you have a couple options. You can choose the complicated way, right? It's what I had to do. I had to reinvent quickly. And, you can spend the money and you can figure it out. I did. You're probably as smart as I am, or maybe smarter. So I'm sure you could do that too. Or you could just simply copy and paste what's already working. I took years and tens of thousands of dollars to perfect. This is, folks, the ultimate shortcut. But I wanted to share with you the definition of insanity, and that's getting off of this call and doing the same things you're doing now over and over and just hoping it's going to be better, because it doesn't get better. So if you truly want to grow your production and you really want to control your income and relationship, I want to announce to you the Renters into Loans system. I mean, the name says it all, doesn't it? Renters into Loans. It's for ethical loan officers like you who want to really control their income and not worry about rates. But look, if you're just going to swipe some ideas and ask for a refund, please don't bother. This is the Renters into Loans system. It's guaranteed for your success. So what you're going to get are a video training. You're going to get a PDF and all the tools to implement it. And then you're going to have access to me if you have any questions. So again, here's Mark. We changed his life by 40 grand a month. Brian Saviano in Chicago, not listening to me cost him thousands. Leon, right here where I am in Baltimore, made over $100,000. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but it's just important for you to understand. So Steve says, I signed up for Boomerang. Well, if you are currently a member of the Boomerang system, this is a separate program, but you have the basic version of Renters into Loans as a bonus right in your Boomerang system. So if you're a member of Boomerang Expert, don't invest in this because you already have it, or at least the basics. This is Joe Gross. He slashed his marketing expense by 90%. So what are you going to get? In Module 1, I'm going to share with you who to mail to, when to mail to them, because when to mail to them is critical, okay? And I'm going to take you on an overview of the system. I'm going to show you a secret resource that allows you to find these buyers, and you never, ever have to pay a list broker 10 cents. And I'm also going to give you my templates. You're going to have 14 templates in a Word format that you can just simply copy, paste, and get ready to mail. I mean, that alone is, priceless. In Module 2, I'm going to show you how to create that customer capture page. I'm going to show you a resource where you can literally just spend $5 to get it done. In Module 3, we're going to create your sales robots, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. I'm actually going to give you the sales robots so that you can just simply copy, paste, and be done. All those follow-up sequences. So you're going to have the ability to have the robots working for you for a full 12 months. In number 5, we're going to talk about finding those realtors, the scripts, and which ones to go after. And, it's pretty priceless to know what to say and who to say it to. In Module 6, we're going to put it all together, have everything up and running for you. I'm going to share a resource where you can get technical work done. I couldn't build a website if my life depended on it. You'd have to kill me. But I'm going to show you a resource where you can get it done for $5 an hour. And I'm going to also share with you a resource where you can have the lists of renters compiled for $2.50 an hour. And if you're serious, I'm going to give you some bonuses to the first group of people that invest in Renters into Loans. In the gold member area, I'm going to give you an entire first-time buyer seminar. I'm going to give you the recording and the slides. I'm going to show you how I promote it on Facebook. I'm going to give you actually the ability to have my team. If you choose the apartment complexes in your area, I'll have my team put it together for you in a database ready to mail. So, I'm also going to give, if you're one of the first 25, you're going to have the ability to have personal access to me so that you can get everything up, running, and speak to me directly if you're stuck. I'm going to give you the actual report, and I'm going to give you 2 bonus reports and the magical postcard. So you're going to want to go to rentersintoloans.com/now. Those bonuses will be right in your gold member area. Again, you're going to have the training for each section. You're going to have the tools to implement for each section, and you'll have access to me. Here's Denise. Denise has really used our system to grow her production. It's given her an opportunity, as you can see, to take control of her business and, more importantly, achieve some life balance. So think about this. How much is one loan worth? How much is a system worth to you that actually can produce loans for you each and every month? I mean, if you got 3 $200,000 loans and you're earning 100 basis points, that's $6,000, plus 3 new realtor relationships that also will be sending you loans. I'm not going to keep going on and on here. You actually know if this is right for you or not. I mean, think about it. What would your life be like if you don't have to beg? If you don't have to hear, I'm checking with 3 other lenders, or what's your rate? And being finally respected, taking off and not having to worry about it. So I see 4 of you have already joined. I want to thank you. It means a lot to me, and I want you to make sure that you share your success story with me. You want to go to rentersintoloans.com/now. So, if you put all this together, easily worth over $2,600. That's the apartments, the sales robot reports, the first-time buyer slides, the $1 million postcard, the 14 templates, the report itself. But, look, I know how hard all of us work for our income. Take the whole system for a full 12-month, 365-day test drive. This is unheard of. I don't want you to put anything at risk, okay? I want you to be able to take a full 30-day no-risk test drive. If for any reason during the first 30 days you're unhappy, just send an email, no hoops, no hassles, and we'll send you all your money back. But take it for a full 12-month test drive. Show us that you implemented the system, and if it doesn't work, I'll give you double your money back. How's that for putting your money where your mouth is? Or I'll get on the phone with you and make sure it works. So, your investment here is less than what you would earn on a $50,000 loan. So it's one investment of $497, or if you want to break it up over 2 months, it's $277, or I get people all the time ask me, hey, Brian, why don't you let me try it for 6 months? Well, here you go. You can do this with PayPal and not have to make any payments for 6 months. And you still have a full 1 year guarantee. Here's what our member area looks like. You see right here the training, under it, the tools to implement it. And then you're going to have an entire gold member bonus area of all those bonuses, all of these fast action bonuses. So here you go. rentersintoloans.com/now. I hope you'll invest in your business. I hope you'll be our next success story. I thank you for being here, and I wish you all a very successful 2019. rentersintoloans.com/now.